Welcome to SUAANGAN. I'm your host, Janine Blake. On today's program, we bring you part 2 of the National Inuit Youth Council, who held their summit here in Inuvik in February of 2002. Johnny Kootook was the National Inuit Youth Council representative. We talked to him about the NIYC, who they are, and what they hope to accomplish at the summit.
National Inuit Youth Summit happening here over the weekend.
What do you hope that the youth from all the regions achieve?
We hope to get all their inputs. We have 6 Inuit regions here: Nunavut, Nunavik, Labrador, Inuvialuit, and Inuit from Ottawa. And what we're doing is sharing ideas and progresses from each region and incorporating them in our own regions. So it's sharing information and action plan for youth activities.
How is the summit going so far?
The summit is going good so far. This is my first time. A lot of us first time in Inuvik. It's going very well, and the drum dancing is nice to see.
Oh, actually, can you tell us a little bit about some of the activities the youth in your region participate in?
Just recently, we completed a 3-day youth strategy workshop in Cambridge, where we had one youth rep from each community in the region come to Cambridge Bay and discuss and debate youth issues from their communities and put that into a strategy report and action plan for our region.
And the last question, what are the communities in your region?
The communities in the Kootook region are Kootook, Cambridge Bay, Joe Haven, Kootook, and Rock.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Larry Gordon from IRC gave a presentation on the Inuvialuit Regional Corporation.
Human Resources is the Natural Resources Technology Program, Criminal Justice Program, ABE, Adult Basic Education, University Entrance Program, and Careers and Trades and Technology. The core funding is provided to the delivering agencies, and we also assist and provide Inuvialuit beneficiaries, those that are not eligible for student financial assistance, through payment of training allowances and other costs that they incur. We also run a computer-based program for the Inuvialuit beneficiaries, and this past year we experimented with moving the program into the high school, and we're trying to get more Inuvialuit interested in the technology of today, and we're in the process now of looking at where the program's taken us so far and where we want to go. There's a couple of quotes I'd like to leave you with. One is, time is neutral and does not change things. With courage and initiatives, leaders change things. That's where you come in. Nothing matters more to the future of this land than assuring our young men and our young women that they learn to believe in themselves and believe in their dreams. So I leave it in your hands to work alongside us, to share your new and creative ideas with us, to make the preceding generations proud of your accomplishments, and to make the next generation, your own children, see the example of your courage and initiatives so that they may also one day reach their dreams. Thank you.
When SUAANGAN returns after these messages, we'll bring you more on the National Inuit Youth Council. We're back with our coverage of the National Inuit Youth Council, who held their summit here in Inuvik. Looee Okalik attended the summit as part of her work with ITK.
Intervener at Inuit Kanatami. I've been working there for over 2 years, 2.5 years, and my responsibilities are to provide federal programming initiatives information to the regional youth coordinators, as well as the regional youth presidents of the councils. And we hold teleconference calls on a monthly or every other month basis. And we produce newsletters called the National Inuit Youth Newsletter. We distribute it to the regional Inuit associations. And we hold face-to-face meetings once a year. And if there are conferences that we can piggyback on, we hold face-to-face meetings as well. But we hold summits every other year. The last one was held in Cambridge Bay in January 2000. Now it's here in Inuvik, February 1st to the 4th, 2002. And this afternoon we'll identify as to where the next summit will be held. And the general feeling is that it'll be held in Labrador, as that's the only region we haven't held meetings at. We have approximately 35 youth participating at this National Inuit Youth Summit 2002 Tapirit meaning team. And all of the regions are represented. Inuvialuit region, Kootook, Kivaluk, Kikiltani, and Nunavik, as well as Labrador. And we have 4 representatives from every region, but Labrador was good to find other sponsorships so they could have a representative from every community in their region. So we credited them for that. And the areas that we've covered well at the summit are the regional reports coming from every region. And there was a brief history about NIYC, ITK, and where they're going. And the Justice Canada departments under the National Crime Prevention Centre, as well as the Youth Justice departments, also gave an overview about the youth justice renewal and community safety. And the other areas we looked at were the 5-year strategic planning initiative. So the NIYC can have guidance as to what to work on in the next 5 years. And we also want to start up an Inuit Youth Awards initiative. So there can be young children or youth looking up to other youth and achieving goals and maintaining community representation at different events. And then we had from our elders, Billy Day and Emma Dick, Inuit cultural knowledge sharing as well as language sharing. And we've made an effort the last couple of years to have elders guiding the National Inuit Youth Council in their activities and projections, as elders have a lot of knowledge to share with us, and in that way it helps to have NIYC have stability. So that's where our elders come in very handy. And Larry Gordon, he gave a keynote address to the summit here, as Nellie was out of town in Yellowknife, and Larry took her spot in presenting the IRC background information as well as the history of Inuvik. So that was very informational for the group. And the ITK department is funded with an initiative called Aboriginal Languages Initiative. So one of our youth delegates Bernadette Dean, who sits on the technical committee. She provided an overview of what it was, and that there are funds available to other regions whom can access funds from to promote, enhance, and to maintain the languages, whether it's Inuvialuit or Inuvialuit, Inuvialuit, or Inuvialuit. And there's this urban multipurpose Aboriginal youth initiatives as well, that communities at a population of 1,000 or more receive funding from the Department of Canadian Heritage to deliver youth activities, which are set up by youth themselves. And then there were other discussions around the National Aboriginal Youth Strategy, where the Aboriginal youth are working towards having youth involved in every departments, or whether it's national, regional, or at a community level. That way the youth voice is heard and they're involved with the policy changes or whatever area that would have an impact on youth.
SUAANGAN will return after these messages for more of the National Inuit Youth Council. We're back with our coverage of the National Inuit Youth Council, who held their summit here in Inuvik.
The activities and workshops that we have done in the past year and our upcoming events that we will be holding. We work very closely with the Rising Youth Council, and they are from all along the coast, from each community. So we have them involved in different workshops, and one of them we had how to start and run a successful youth committee or youth group, and proposal writing. So we had them involved in that, and that involved about 14 youth, and that was like a 3-day workshop held in Nain, and it went really well. Well, some of the cultural events, we had a youth gathering held in Nain. This was an annual event with the Labrador School Board. It just involves youth from all along the coast, and they get together and they do workshops such as Science Olympics, suicide prevention program, cultural related sewing, crafts, that sort of thing, and recreational activities. Through the National Inuit Youth Council and ITK, we were invited to attend this summit, and we were very excited, to have reps from all along the coast, that we actually came up with a little bit more funding so that we could have a couple more delegates. So we feel that it's really important for our youth to just to know what's going on in every other community, even the other regions, other Inuit regions, to help them know that it's not only them who are struggling, and working together they can make it to the top in anything they want to decide and do. We have an annual youth symposium, and what it is, again, it's involving the Rising Youth Council members from all along the coast, and we have delegates as well from all along the coast. And what they do is they get together and they listen to presentations made by the Labrador Inuit Association and their affiliates and other youth organizations or groups. And basically it's a question and answer period. It just gets them involved in our own region, getting to know who we all are and what we do. And it is there at this symposium that they list any concerns or ideas that they have in their own community, and they just bring it all together and we bring it forward then to the Labrador Inuit Association's annual general meeting.
Bernadette Dean gave the report from the Okalik region. She spoke of the activities for youth and elders in her region.
The Okalik Inuit Association in Rankin Inlet.
And I'm Joellen Pamulik from Akbir. I'm a youth representative for the Okalik region.
Can you tell us a little bit about the report that you gave, your regional report yesterday, the first day of the summit?
My report consisted of the different activities that we did last year, focusing on youth programs, programs like DARE, Delegates Attaining Raw Experience, which is a school-run, school-based student leadership weekend-long workshop for high school students, our culture camp that we have every year, and all the different youth activities that happen in the year. The youth symposium we did in November, just an overview of what we did in the year.
What are the communities in your region?
Communities in our region? It's Akvit, Baker Lake, Well Cove, Rankin Inlet, Cora Harbor, Chesterfield Inlet, and Repulse Bay.
What do you hope to achieve here at the summit? What made you decide to come?
I hope this continues because it's interesting to attend a meeting with people from different places. Like, I've never met anybody from Labrador or northern Quebec. That's one of the things that I found really interesting, to spend some time with other Inuit, young Inuit. I hope this continues, that everybody will just get together.
Did you find you had a lot in common even though you're all from different regions?
Yeah, we're all Inuit. We all know Inuit games. We sing and square dance, and yeah, we have a lot of things in common, especially our culture and our tradition.
I hope we come back with a better understanding and a direction, a work plan. Like we're working on a 5-year strategy. I hope that'll get accomplished, and because it'll give people like me a direction to go. It'll give people like youth coordinators and people that the work that we do, it'll give us a direction to give us a goal.
Thank you both so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Billy Day and Emma Dick are elders from Inuvik. They attended the conference to provide support and guidance to the youth. They also gave presentations on traditional knowledge, language, and cultural values.
Councils or anybody really running the town. But our ancestors in all our little communities had leaders in their communities, regardless of how small or how big they're, or how few or many people that were there. They always chose a leader, and that leader they called Inuvialuit in Inuvialuit, which could be translated into two different things, but one means Inuvialuit, a person has a boat, but the other meaning to that is he's a rich person or she's a rich person. And why I think they used that was in the community when they had a person in there that was a good trapper, a good hunter, and was able to supply his family well and help other people. That's the person they looked for to choose as a leader. But he was a leader in the community. But around him, he had the elders to advise him on what he should do or any kind of decisions he had to make. He had the elders for advisors. And And this is no different from the community councils that we have today. They have a mayor, which we would have called a Melik in them days. He has people sitting around him, not necessarily elders anymore, but he has people sitting around to advise him and make decisions for him. So we had that long, long before anybody, at least in this region, had that. I also heard the word a number of times, working together. And every time I hear somebody talking about working together, I always ask the question, why aren't we working together? This working together is really easy to say, but for some reason it's really hard to do. And why, I don't know, because these are things I've been hearing since I was knee-high.
Because language is so important. Today there's instructors, there's language programs in Inuvik and other settlements. But it's very, very hard because younger people, they don't speak their language, especially in Inuvik. You know, for years that they try to keep the language going, but they're still trying. We hope they don't lose it for good because it's our culture, it's our, we need that. We need our program. But we have to work hard together, help the younger people. When you're an elder, you get invited to these kind of stuff. It's really good. You know, you could talk to the children. Even at schools, sometimes they invite us to share our culture and our language. But it's really hard. But anyway, they keep trying. And about and our culture too, we have to leave school when we were young to stay in our culture, to learn how to live out in the land. We didn't go right fully educated, but we went up to grade 7, and so I said, you have to leave school, you have to go in the land. You know, just things like that.
That was our program for this week. Thank you for watching SUAANGAN. I'm your host, Janine Blake, and I'll see you next week. Even though the youth that attended the National Inuit Youth Summit were all from different regions and different backgrounds, they all found common challenges and interests. They learned from each other, from the many presentations that were given, and from the group sessions. Their 5-year strategic plan helped them to identify their goals and will be an important tool in assisting them to achieve them.